Turner, the first ever Golden Bachelor, who at age 72 has America rooting for him to find love and his wonderful love story. So in the spirit of what is known as cuffing season, that is the time of the year when single people are looking for somebody to keep them warm because covers are just not enough, we are chatting with some TAM fam members about their experiences dating later in life, putting themselves out there later in life. Joining us is Tiffany Maldonado, Kimmy Seltzer. Tiffany is a 42-year-old New Yorker whose relatable TikTok video diaries about dating have gotten thousands of views and the attention of our producer. When she searched the hashtag dating over 40, she came up. Tiffany came up. And Kimmy is a 54-year-old dating strategist and confidence therapist who's made it her mission to help people find love, their second act, because she understands the challenges that come with dating in your 40s and beyond. Thank you for joining the conversation. Kimmy, I'll start off with you because your love story coincides in so many ways with what people are going through. I was stunned, 20% of people out there over 40 are single. And that could be divorced, that could be never having married, a lot of different things. But you focus on building the confidence because I do think as time goes on, even I got married at 48. At time, I said on the show once, I got to the point where I was like, I did not want another failed relationship. So I was like, I'm not dating.
Yeah.
You put yourself in this position.
Exactly. And you know, I'm a trained therapist and I'm from Chicago, and I thought Chicago. Yeah.
This show goes off the rails. It does.
And you know, I thought I was a pretty confident person,
Yeah.
and I had a very traditional life until, you know, we all picked up and moved as a family, my kids, my dog, the picket fence. I still have the kids, by the way, but you see where the story's going. And so then we land in LA, and we did what all the other people in LA do. We get a divorce. I'm joking. There were issues going on.
I believe it. Yeah, it happens.
And it was like my confidence was totally shattered, you know, at that point. And so I really had my own journey that I had to go through in helping myself, and it started, and even though I did a lot of inner work, it started with taking action and getting out there.
Getting out there.
Yes.
Right, and it doesn't always come in a national TV where you're labeled the Golden Bachelor on billboards all over America, but it does start with just getting yourself out there. Tiffany, you got married when you were 28, divorced at 30. You're in a relatively new relationship, but you spent 12 years dating in New York, and that you should get a badge of honor.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Sex and the City has nothing on the real things that go on in New York when you are dating. That show is a comedy compared to the hard knocks of dating in New York.
Absolutely. It felt like a full-time job sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it meant going on 5-6 dates a week, but if you want love, you got to put in the work.
Yeah. So when did you decide, listen, I'm going to put myself out there because, you know, when you have ended a relationship, especially a marriage, it's natural to have baggage, right? You have to release that baggage and then say, let me start fresh and new mentally. How did you do that?
Yeah, so honestly, I think the timing with the pandemic just brought new perspective and time to think, and just time to really feel open and ready to receive that love and put myself out there.
So you put yourself out there first on, was it a dating app? What was it?
I like to use dating apps. I tend to be very busy, and it's the best way to filter people based upon their interests.
Now, are you dating 20 at a time?
Never 20 at a time.
I mean, I'm not judging because I'm good with 20 at a time. I'm good with it.
The roster gets lower and lower until you're just down to one.
The roster gets, but you had a roster.
I absolutely had a roster.
I like that. I had a roster. Listen, I'm not ashamed of that. Kimmy, speaking of how you build a roster to date from, there was an article in the New York Times over the summer that a lot of people are moving from dating apps and they're doing these docu-dating where you write about yourself like essays almost.
Yeah.
Where, so you really, so it's not like one thing about myself. You write a documentary. I like that because it makes you more than just a couple of bullet points.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like going back in time when people used to put articles and
in the back of the papers, right?
Yeah, exactly. But like for me, I think all of it's great. You know, I always say that your dating portfolio should be like your financial portfolio.
Oh.
You need to diversify as much as possible to get the results. Like you can't just put
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, it's never a good idea. So like getting yourself out there, doing a PDF, going online, it is a numbers game, but then you have to be intentional.
I like that. Gary, this is what you've inspired in this series. I mean, I remember the first day I drove out of here and there was a billboard, the Golden Bachelor, and you're gleaming down, smiling with a rose. I was like, okay, what is this going to be about? But it set off a whole nother conversation.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a lot of stories that come back to me from old friends that have decided they'll take the risk. They'll decide to go out and date again.
Yeah.
And that's very gratifying for me, where the people who've sat at home and decided or thought that they weren't able to do it or didn't want to have decided to do it.
Ooh.
Some of them are pretty close to home.
I love that. And I truly love the fun that you're having, because it's also fun because sometimes, again, you go to dating and it's hard and, there are a lot of challenges with it, but you're having fun and it's good to see you having fun.
I've never had more fun in my whole life. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm just saying. I have a rose, and so I'm just saying there are 3 left, but there could be 4 if they mess up. So let me know, all right? Let me know. You're such a charming fella. Thank you so much. Congratulations on putting yourself out there. Ladies, Tiffany and Kimmy, thank you as well, because, as I said, it doesn't have to be on national TV. This is real life, real talk. Thank you both. And you can catch The Golden Bachelor Thursdays, 8 p.m. on ABC. The big finale we'll all be watching together, all on social media, judging and talking, November 30th. November 30th.